What's up, Stokers of Stoke Nation? This is Chad Croker coming in. Before we begin this podcast, I want to let you know that we are brought to you by Fruit Smash. Fruit Smash, keep drinking the fruit, smash, and keep getting it in your belly and feeling good. We're also brought to you by the legends at Helix Sleep. Big shout out today to Helix Sleep. Take their 2-minute sleep quiz and they'll match you to a mattress that'll give you the best sleep of your life. Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners at helixsleep.com/go-deep. We're also brought to you by the legends at Manscaped. Manscaped, thank you so much for keeping our trims pubed, for looking after our hogs, for making sure their dinks are looking fresh and clean. Because attention listeners across the galaxy, all the way from Australia to Houston, do we have a pube problem? Dun, dun, dun. If so, our friends at Manscaped have cleared you for takeoff with their 4th generation brand new lawnmower 4.0. Kick your pubes to the next plane with their Performance Package 4.0. The orbits in your pants will feel like you're in zero gravity when you use the best tools for the job from the leaders in male grooming. Join the 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped and get your rocket ready for takeoff by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with the code GODEEP. We're also brought to you by Helix Beer Bongs. Get your Helix Beer Bong today at shopcgd.com. Now let's start the show.
What's with deep? Going deep. Chad and JT.
He was super. I think people who are already skeptical of the government, it's really been intensified in them over the last year. Yeah, because there has been so much control. Yeah. Some of which I think was justified, or a lot of it I thought was justified. But at this point, I think we have to be through with that.
Yeah, I just think it's exhausting. Where does it end?
Yeah.
I don't. You just gotta live your life. I mean, if you're going around paranoid about the government all the time, it's like, I think it ruins your life. Like, you gotta focus on what you're doing.
I agree. Like, what can you change? Yeah. And maybe you could change it.
Posting about it, getting the word out, and you're like,
Yeah, go run for office. Do something like that. Yeah. Start your own state.
Right.
I mean, yeah, go ahead.
We could actually talk about that on the pod. I read an interesting New York Times article about how the problem with the United States is we need more states.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're so stuck in this system anyways with like the arranged amount of delegates.
Yeah.
And like, so we always know how voting's going to go. And basically the amount of states we have doesn't reflect like our cultural trends. So if we just broke it up into like another 20 states, maybe we're due for a shakeup like that.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good idea.
But I mean, we are like, maybe we could save it for the pod.
I'm rolling on everything, so we can go.
Rolling.
Yeah, we could keep this. Yeah.
We are like a bunch of different countries bundled together. We're like Europe, except we're states.
Yeah.
Because like Europe, it's like you got England, France, Spain, whatever. They're all different cultures and stuff. And you could argue the same thing for America. You go to like Texas versus California.
Oh, different worlds completely.
Florida.
Yeah.
I mean, when I went
geographically, it's the same amount of space too. We're such a big country.
Yeah. When I went to New England, totally different. I mean, the amount of pastel I saw, I've never seen that much pastel. I was like, this is a brand new country.
It's a different world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clam chowder and pastel.
Well, that's the thing too. I was thinking clam chowder.
Right.
Like if you look at New England clam chowder versus Manhattan clam chowder, couldn't be more different.
They're different colors.
And you expect people who believe in those different kinds of clam chowder to agree on the same policies regarding like our economy. Like that's kind of a reach, bro.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you can't agree on the color of your clam chowder, how do you expect to agree on guns?
You can't. It's a good point.
Yeah.
You want to kick it off?
Yeah. I don't think you're ready for this jelly. I don't think you're ready for this jelly. I don't think you're ready for this, 'cause my body's too bootylicious for you, babe. What's up, Stokers of Stoke Nation? This is Chad Kroger coming in with the Going Deep with Chad and JT podcast. I'm here with my compadre, Jean Thomas. What up?
Boom, clap, Stokers.
And we are here in the studio.
Yes, sir.
Julie's going to be pissed because she wants that light on in the back. How do you turn it on?
Yeah, let me turn it on.
She texted me last time. I thought she was like, she texted me like a photo of like a screenshot of YouTube and like our podcast, and I thought it was gonna be like, your podcast came up. That's so awesome. And then I realized it was a video, and she's like, turn on the fucking light. I was like, oh, okay, yeah.
Nice. Well, thank you, Julie. Thank you for the reminder. Yeah, happy to have it on. It's giving us a nice glow.
You're the best, Julie. I'm wearing this shirt. This is Leo and Romeo and Juliet. I'm wearing it to spite Aaron right now because he hated on the Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, you posted 95. About it yesterday. What happened there?
Well, I shared a meme that said, like, keep in mind this was a movie that was made about Shakespeare, and it was a picture of all the guys in the movie. And then I went back and looked at IMDb because I was like, who was in this thing again?
Are you mad that Jamie Kennedy was in it?
No. Okay. I've met Jamie. He's a cool guy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, no, it's just like, Baz Luhrmann is a great cinematographer and production designer. I don't know that he should be directing movies ever.
He's got some bad habits in his editing. It can get a little overstimulated at times.
Yeah.
But dude, I don't know. I think it's a killer movie.
Yeah, I think
you would.
That, dude, I do.
Dude, that's ad hominem, bro.
What?
Subtly ad hominem.
And it holds a special place in my heart because I went on an outdoor date there. Outdoor movie date to see it.
I mean, you have super romantic. I went on an outdoor movie date with Babona, the coach from UCI baseball. If you're a young buckaroo, go play ball there.
To see Romeo and Juliet?
We watched it like when we were like in our 20s. We went to Los Feliz and watched it outside with a couple of pops.
Oh, dude, nice. Yeah, I was in Hollywood. We got a bottle of champagne. It's
perfect.
Super
My
romantic.
wife's favorite movie is Moulin Rouge. So like I'm in this camp already, but like you do it for the ladies, but that movie's not good.
Well, Moulin Rouge is too much for me. Like Roxanne, I'm just like the intensity of it. Although I do think Elephant Love Medley is just beautiful. Also interesting, they wanted it to be Heath Ledger in that movie, but he was too young.
Yeah.
But dude, Romeo and Juliet, the soundtrack, amazing.
Soundtrack's good.
What about this? One of my favorite scenes of all time, when Leo and Claire Danes, who are both angelic in it, see each other through the fish tank, and that song by Des'ree plays.
I think the music does a lot.
And the camera's just tracking them. I mean,
Des'ree's in the movie apparently.
Oh, really? Is she the one singing at the show?
I'm not sure. It just I saw her in the press in the.
But dude, I mean,
cast.
I don't know if the movie overall works, but some of the scenes are just perfect.
Paul Rudd crushes.
Paul Rudd's so
He's
good.
In that space astronaut suit, just being a douche.
His smile when he sees her, and he's like
his quaff.
Yeah, and he's like too gallant in a way that feels super corny.
Yeah. Dude, I love that movie, and also, I have to admit though, Great Gatsby. I was really stoked for that, and then it came out, and I was like, oh, this is a bummer.
Oh yeah, Boz sucks now. Yeah, that movie sucked. The soundtrack also. He's good at soundtracks.
Yeah,
but. Great Gatsby was bad. The acting was ridiculous, and like I don't know, the typewriter letters like falling and stuff.
That and when they drove into New York City, and it was just like all these colors, and he's like they're on the road. And
it's not real cars, obviously.
Yeah. But I love Leo. Leo's sick. What do you think of Tobey in that movie?
Maguire who was he? Billy.
He was Nick Carraway.
Yeah, there it is. I was calling Billy Calloway. Yeah, he was good. I like Tobey Maguire. You know, he doesn't pop up in stuff much either. You know, he does a movie like every 5 years because he's too busy playing poker at night and breaking mortgage lenders who have the tenacity to come at him. Yeah, or the temerity. Yeah, but no, I liked him in it. I liked Tobey Maguire. He's kind of a weird guy because he always plays like a softie. You know what I mean? He's always kind of doe-eyed and like really sweet, and then he's not like that off camera. Right. So that's always kind of interesting. But I like it when he plays something weirder. Like in Wonder Boys, he's like this weird writer college kid. Yeah. And he's kind of creepy and manipulative. And I liked him a lot in that.
Right.
Yeah.
I liked him in Spider-Man 3 when they let him show his bad boy side.
That was really
what I'm talking about? Dude, when he's walking down the street being a bad boy, his finger pistols in that are unmatched.
Well, I dressed up for that. Me and a couple buddies dressed up for that.
You did?
We were in junior college. We didn't have a lot going on the weekend. And so we used to just put on some outfits and go see movies. And and I remember my friend JD that I was with, who was super jacked. He looked hilarious in his Spider-Man costume. When it got to that scene, he goes, "What is this, The Mask?"
Dude, and then, what's it called? Fuck. Oh, we're going to dress up for Top Gun 2.
That's the first movie we're going to dress up for again in a long time.
So what are we going with? We're going with flight suits?
Flight suits, for sure. And then, dude, other interesting thing about Spider-Man 3, they had like a really good novelist, Michael Chabon, help on the second one.
Yeah, great last name.
And he said on the third one, they made them put more bad guys in it so they could sell more merch. So he didn't want to add in like Sandman or whatever. And then they were like, no, we need more bad guys because then we can move more toys at we can move more toward
McDonald's.
product. Exactly.
Dude, I remember those Happy Meals growing up. I was always so psyched on that. But actually, my favorite was Taco Bell. When Taco Bell took on Batman, the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, dude, I remember these.
Dude, that was the best.
That was the best.
That Taco Bell theme, Batman theme was. I got so many Mexican pizzas with Arnold just staring back at me.
I was dragging my parents to it all the time.
Yeah.
I always liked those. I always liked the gizmos in those movies.
Yeah.
And so like as those movies got worse, they had more gizmos, so I kind of liked it more. James Bond has the same kind of corollary.
Yeah.
And I remember I'd always get home and draw out what my Batman gizmos would be.
What would they be?
It was just like a cooler car, and then like I thought he should have more guns too.
Right.
I was always kind of like, it always felt a little tedious to me that he didn't have a handgun.
Yeah, like he's.
I mean, it's kind of his whole thing.
Right.
That would be funny if he's just like fuck it.
But I'm
Well,
watching.
That's the DC Batman. He just shoots people now.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Hilarious.
Not the Robert Pattinson one, but
Right.
the Ben Affleck one. Just shoots people.
When's that coming out? Robert Pattinson.
They had to postpone
It's
it a
been
little
delayed.
bit. That's gonna be cool
People
though.
came
Yeah.
down with COVID.
Pattinson's a beast. Yeah.
He is a beast.
I
He has a gun in the bat symbol. It's the gun that killed his parents.
Oh, nice.
Is the bat symbol on his chest.
His jawline is incredible.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It really stokes me out.
Dude, I have to circle back to, you came out with Bootylicious.
Mm-hmm.
I have an interesting story from my past about that, which is a little bit tragic, but I've grown from it, so it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in a 7th grade, that was like the most popular song.
Mm-hmm.
And I was at a party and that song came on, and I think I've told this story before. I pulled my shorts up like into like looking like I was wearing a jock strap or something like that to make everyone laugh. An older girl at the party, Jessica, said that she saw my dick and that it was super little. And that's all anybody talked about for the rest of the party, like 40 kids.
Really?
And then I was just outside kind of bummed out, and this guy was like quasi friends with him over. He said, "What's up, dude?" So just chilling, man. He's like, "Jessica's telling everyone you got a little dick." And I was like, "It's not true. It's totally true." And then he was like, "Are you gonna say anything?" I was like, "Nah." And then I remember last song, I was slow dancing with this girl, Brennan, and I was just so sad because she had a crush on my friend Hunter, so she was sad.
Yeah.
And then I was sad that everyone there thought I had a little dink.
Yeah.
And it was like the just most melancholy slow dance of my life.
Right.
And then I came to school on Monday, and her boyfriend wanted to kick my ass.
Nice.
Because I like grabbed her butt when we were dancing or something like that.
Right.
Should I cut that?
No.
No.
You're young.
Yeah.
young.
It was a bad move. I
Yeah.
regret it. But
You gotta learn.
he was a badass too. He
Yeah.
he beat the shit out of someone in high school. He like broke the guy's ribs. He was cool.
Wow.
And then he came up to me at school and he's like, "What's up, dude?" And I was like, "What's up, dude?"
Yeah.
And he would have murdered me.
Yeah.
And he was like, "I'm really pissed off about what you did, but I'm not going to beat the shit out of you because I like you. So just don't do it again, bro." And I was like, "Thank you so much."
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What a good guy.
He was cool.
Kind of.
Not really, actually.
Yeah. Maybe not.
No. Yeah, no, he was cool. He was
Yeah.
cool. He got into fights, but I mean, a lot of people got into fights.
Yeah.
Dude, if I would have been a better fighter, I would have been getting into fights too.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably was romanticizing those aspects of him too much, but no, he was a good hang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a beautiful experience.
I learned a lot.
It's character building. Do you think you'd be the same JT if you hadn't exposed your little dink at that party?
No, for sure, no.
Yeah.
Dude, I was at the park yesterday, and I was microdosed too, but I was walking around shirtless and I was just observing everything, and I was having a good time, and then I got a really strong impulse to hang
Streak?
dong, to
Yeah.
streak. And then thankfully, even on a little psychedelic influence, I was like, "Can't do it, dog."
Yeah.
I was like, life's about restraint. You got to respect other people in this society. Other people have different limits than you do.
Right.
And what you're okay with doesn't necessarily mean it's okay to do.
Right.
Yeah. But I wanted to. I just love being naked so much.
It's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do that at my place. I'll have the blinds open, and past 9 o'clock, I'm naked.
As you should be, dude.
And so I'll go out and be like, "Oh, I forgot to do some dishes," and be like, "Dude," and I always forget that the blinds are open. I'm just hanging dong, but
Right.
you gotta send a message to the neighborhood.
And optimistically, and no one should operate on this thinking.
Yeah.
But just in this moment, as a thought experiment, I've seen your neighbors.
Yeah.
They're young,
Right.
mostly dudes.
Yeah.
Maybe they're cool with it.
I'm sure, well, I think that's why my one neighbor doesn't talk to me. I think he saw me hanging dog and he got pissed. Dude, okay, so I was with Strider yesterday. We were shooting something, and you remember that one time when we were out shooting on the front porch, And my neighbor who I share the place with comes out with his bulldog and I think it's his girlfriend. They have 2 bulldogs. They don't like me at all for some reason. I think because I got the garage. But they just do not talk to me. They don't even acknowledge my existence. It's really weird. And remember when we were shooting and they're walking out and it's sort of like we're like friendly guys and we're like shooting, we're having
like golden
fun.
retrievers. Yeah, we're like hi.
Yeah, we're like hi, and they barely acknowledge us, and then he starts yanking on his dog's leash and stuff, and you're just like, what the fuck?
Dude, I still think about that moment. It really.
Yeah.
Do you remember how hurt I was afterwards? I turned to you. I was like, what's the deal, man?
Dude, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Strider had the same thing yesterday.
No way.
Same thing. Okay, so Strider brought his dog Sunny over. By the way, cutest dog ever.
So spunky, so cute.
Best smile I've ever seen on a dog. And he brings Sunny over. I got to meet Sunny. And we're in the backyard, and so I share a backyard with these people, but theirs is fenced off. So
right.
I technically share it, but theirs is fenced off. And they have 2 French bulldogs. So French bulldogs come out and start barking at Sunny, and Sunny's like all curious. And the guy just runs out. He's like, hey. He grabs his bulldog and just it doesn't even acknowledge us. We're like, it's okay, dude. It doesn't say anything. And just storms back into his place, kind of kicks the other dog out of the way. And Strider's like, what the fuck was that, man? I'm like, yeah, it's a weird dynamic.
Dude, that's really sad, but it almost makes me feel better that they do it to everyone because now it feels less personal.
Well, I think it's just me.
No, I don't think it's you. I think it's the world, dude. I think it's the outside world.
It's fucking me.
No,
man.
it's not you, dude. No
My
way.
neighbors hate me, man.
Dude, I think that's so funny too because when dogs interact, that's such a natural segue for their human partners to talk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for him to not even be acknowledge the other dog or the people responsible for it, you're like, dude, do you have any social grace? Did you go to Cotillion?
Yeah,
you're supposed to throw me a what up here and say, oh, where'd you get your dog? And all that bullshit. But
I know.
But I need the bullshit. I love the bullshit.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. I hope I can go throughout my whole stay at that place. I can go without having a conversation with that guy.
I think you might get there. That guy's tough. He's a tough nut to crack.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was blown away by how little he responded to us in that moment. I was blown away. I was like, what's up, man? How's your day going? He went,
Right, dude. And also when I moved in, he came over and he's like, he knocks on my door. So I guess we did have a kind of a conversation. He goes, our electricity went out. For some reason you have the better setup. So the box, whatever, where you flip switches, the fuse box. The fuse box is in your backyard. I'm like, yeah, man, go whenever you need to go back there. And he just doesn't even acknowledge that. He just walks away. That was a one conversation. And I was trying to be neighborly, yeah, man, whenever you want to go back there, just go back there. And he's just no.
I think he's gonna come around. Actually, that was what just popped into my head. Yeah,
we can win him over.
I think you're gonna win him over. You're solid, dude. You're solid and steady. He's gonna maybe he just takes a while to get warmed up. Yeah, you know what I mean. Not unlike how Aaron hated us when we first started. And now we're thick as thieves.
Right.
We're a fucking team. Yeah.
Well, maybe, I don't know. I mean, the realtor when I moved in was she's like, don't tell the people next door that we gave you the garage for free because you're paying the same amount as them. So I think I'm paying the same amount of rent as they are, but I have a big yard and the garage.
You got a sweeter deal.
I think they know. But I wouldn't be...
You can't be upset.
I wouldn't be a fucking renob about that.
Yeah. You're not the bad actor in that situation.
No.
You know what I mean? You're not... You just lucked out.
I used to use Kevin Farr to negotiate.
Yeah, I wouldn't be... You can't be mad at the other person who got a sweet deal. That has nothing to do with you. Yeah, you got to be mad at the person who made that deal.
Yeah. I think they're just pissed because they think I'm probably 20 and... I'm single, living it up, and they're pissed. Yeah. They're jealous.
Look, if people don't like their lives, they're going to be angry at anyone who seems like they're enjoying theirs.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
This guy has so much extra space, and he's just walking around nude, tanning his nuts all the time. I'm like, yeah, that's fucking right.
They could learn a lot from you, tanning your nuts. Yeah. Powering up your tea, which is going to get you feeling brighter. Yeah. Dude, back to nudity a little bit, too. I was listening to a podcast called Little Atoms, and this lady wrote a book about statues coming down and just the history of it throughout time. And they were talking about, the Greek style and the Roman style, which was, because, statues have evolved how we do them. A lot of statues are guys on horses, which is pretty telltale sign to me that you were racist.
Right.
If you're on a horse in a statue, you're one of the bad ones.
Yeah.
But they were talking about Greek and Roman style and how, them being naked. and they called it heroic nudity. And where do you think that heroism derives from? It's because they got little dicks, dude.
Small dongs.
And it was heroic of them to share that. It was inspiring for them to share their small dongs with the world.
Right.
And to let it be forever, like, commemorized in a statue.
That's awesome.
In bronze.
Yeah.
It fired me up, dude.
You're getting a heroic dose of small dong.
That's what I was listening to at the park, and I was like, it's time to be a hero. And then I was like, ooh, slow down, Charlie.
Yeah.
You know? Maybe not everyone's going to think you're a hero if you bomb this hill naked in front of 12 different picnics littered with children.
Yeah.
But different cultures.
After we build the Paul statue, we should build statues of ourselves and make our dinks even smaller than what they are.
Microscopic.
Yeah. To inspire. What do you think,
Infinitely
Aaron?
small.
I think that's the way to go.
Do you want a statue of you with a small dong?
No.
Yours with a piece would be good.
Dude,
Yeah.
Aaron with just a hog.
But we probably, if Joe's going to be one of the statues, you might have to have a small dong just to...
No, I'll go number 2. Like, he can be
Okay.
number 1. I'll be number 2. That's fine.
Fair enough.
It would be funny if you had a bigger dong than Joe, though.
I could see it.
Yeah.
Probably not.
We've never gone into this. Aaron, do you mind if we probe? Because
we talked about it once, briefly.
Oh yeah, episode 86. I remember that.
That was the one.
Minute 27. That was a good conversation. I'd like to circle back. What are you working with over there?
It's fine. I've
He's
got
being
no complaints.
modest. You know, he's got a piece. Mm-hmm. You got a piece.
How's
dude.
your bell end?
It's cool.
Nice. Does it look like a full helmet, or is it kind of like a Lance Armstrong aerodynamic helmet from circa 2003?
Yeah, it's a little more aerodynamic, I think.
Sick.
Yeah.
Where you guys at on Lance? You like him?
No.
I have some compassion for him, I'd say. But I don't really know the whole situation, but we were talking about, or should I even bring it up, Michael Vick? Mm-hmm. With dogs, killing dogs. That's unforgivable to me. But if you're cheating at cycling, and you're helping fund cancer research, whatever.
Yeah,
But
I
think
that's fine. Like that's like that. Having said I don't like him.
Yeah.
Like the raising money for cancer, great.
Yeah.
Cheating at cycling, don't care.
Yeah.
It's the
Ruining
asshole
lives.
he was to everyone
Right.
else.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he ruined lives. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's brutal. Yeah. That I forgot about that part.
Dude, I just finished that book about the Lakers with the Kobe Shaq era, and like Kobe is rough, dude.
Really?
Not a nice guy. Kind of a cruel person. And it's a tough read if you're a Kobe fan. But he kind of reminds me of Lance almost in terms of their like you respect the drive and you respect the competitive attitude and the ability, but you're like, I think he could have accomplished that without the kind of brutal way you treated other people.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, look at like Babe Ruth, lovable dude. Everyone fucking loved that dude.
Yeah.
Hank Aaron, loved that dude. Willie Mays.
Shaq's like a little lazy in it, but he's and he can be a dick, almost the way like a big child's a dick, like just kind of immature, but incredibly generous and like fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And him and Kobe's problem was basically it all comes down to Shaq wanted to be Kobe's big brother.
Yeah.
And Kobe was like, no, you'll never be my big brother. But everyone else let Shaq be their big bro.
Right.
And then Kobe didn't even want his approval, and it just broke Shaq's brain.
Right.
He's like, I'm the best player in the NBA. How can this kid not want me to like help him?
Right.
But Kobe was always just like, no, I'm the alpha. I'm the alpha. I'm the alpha. Since he was like a kid, it's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. But obviously, he did accomplish a lot with that mindset.
That's crazy. Dude, and going back to nudity, it reminded me of a story when I first struck. That's the past tense of streaking.
For sure.
Just a little grammar lesson. In high school, so I first struck after probably a more difficult, one of my more conflict-riddled times in my life, where I dated this girl for like a month and then broke up with her, and then she was with another guy, and then we hooked up, and it was like a big issue in the school.
I think you do a stand-up joke about this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's important to you because,
Yeah, and so it was after that time, which is probably like, it wasn't a good look for me. I was a bad guy amongst the school. And I went streaking because I was a senior, and it was like we were graduating, and I went streaking, and it's like tradition. Everyone goes streaking. And a bunch of girls who were like, I think a year younger saw me streaking, and they called me out for having a little dong.
Wow.
They're like, I was like running, and I was like, I felt so free, and I was like, no worries. I was like, this is awesome, because I was already a little bit nervous. I was like, it's hard for me to break out. It was, especially that time, I was much more shy, and it was hard for me to break out of my shell. But I got naked and I did it, and I felt free. It was so, that's when I like fell in love with it. And I'm running, and I'm sort of like trailing because I'm sort of taking in the scenery. I'm more of like a visual, observer.
It's not a race for you.
Yeah, so I was like taking it. I'm like, wow, the campus looks nice at night, and then I hear, oh, he has a small dick, and you know what I thought in that moment? I deserve it.
It's they put shame in you for the first time. It's like it's biblical. It's Adam and Eve when they become aware of their nudity after eating the apple, and then they cover up their genitals.
Right. Yeah.
That you literally had your Eden moment where it got corrupted.
Yeah.
I disagree that you deserve shame, though.
Yeah, I guess
you dated her first.
Right.
Oh, we're talking about the original sin here.
And you have no responsibility for the sanctity of their relationship.
Right. Yeah. I guess I'm just hard on myself.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah.
But also, like I said, like if people are mad about their relationship breaking up, it should be at the people in the relationship, not the outside person.
This is like the house situation again.
Yeah.
Don't be mad at you because you got the place with a nice yard.
Yeah, but I don't know, but I did it, and I helped facilitate.
You were part of pain.
Yeah, sure. I pursued it, knowing what the deal was.
All right.
But I don't know. I appreciate the. I think I am pretty hard on myself. So thank you, Aaron, for letting me off the hook a little bit.
Well, and let the record show you're like incredibly decent and respectful of those boundaries in your day to day life.
I think I'm just sensitive about it because it's parents divorce, and so I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I can't be that. I can't do that. Can't ever do that.
But this was in high school, right?
It was in high school, yeah. And
you're not wrecking any homes.
No, and I was trying to lose my virginity.
They probably weren't going to end up together.
No. I was really trying to lose my virginity.
Maybe God at the end will show you what the timeline was supposed to be, and like they ended up having a kid, and that kid cured COVID.
Yeah.
But the likelihood is that they were destined for a break.
I'm gonna Google it after this, and I'll give you guys an update.
Dude, back to basketball real quick. I'm so pumped. Giannis Antetokounmpo looks like they're going to win the title. When we record this, they're going into game 6 and they're up 3-2. Dude, this guy has as cruel as some of those other people describe her, he's like the opposite, I think. I mean, hopefully I don't ever get disillusioned with it. Some tell-all comes out and it's like, he was a cock, but doesn't look like it, dude. He's like really, never complains about his teammates, stayed in a small town to try and win a championship there. And then he always misses his free throws and his jumpers. He never lets it get in his head. He just keeps going. He keeps shooting. Right. There's this other player, Ben Simmons, who sucks at shooting, so he stopped because he's like too embarrassed. So he'll pass up like layups to like not be embarrassed, basically.
Yeah.
Giannis just keeps going. Yeah. And so now he takes so long to shoot free throws that the opposing fan bases will count how long it takes to go 1, 2, 3, and it gets all the way up to like 10 or 11 to get in his head. And he told reporters, he's like, dude, I just have to try and find a way to have fun while that's happening, and then I can get through it.
Right.
He's 26, dude. He has that healthy of a mindset.
That's cool.
And then he had this fucking insane block in one game, and he didn't watch the highlight of it. And reporters were like, "Why didn't you watch the highlight?" He's like, "Because ego is looking backwards at how great you were, and pride is looking forward at how great you could be."
Right.
And I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty inspiring.
He's a philosopher.
Because he's Greek. Yeah, maybe that's what it is, dude. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Dude, good call. I was wondering, I was like, what's going on? How's this guy have such a good mindset? Because it's really like, the other thing, his teammate after the George Floyd stuff was like, I don't know if I can play. Giannis on the spot goes, then none of us are playing. Right. And they were the first team in the NBA to be like, hey, we're sitting out.
That's dank.
He's a leader, dude. Yeah.
That's sick.
I just got chills.
He's a stoic.
He's stoic, bro.
He's a stoic.
That's what it is, though. They got the good philosophy over there. They probably put that in their books, you know?
Yeah.
You get the original text. They can read it in its native tongue.
Yeah.
Then he just freaking, he's got it all in his brain.
That's dank.
Yeah, because Ryan Holiday did repost his thing about ego.
Oh, he did? Oh, really? Oh, what a beast.
Yeah.
Man, I love all that shit. Dude, I've been going to therapy.
Oh, yeah. You told me. You went more than once?
I went today, too.
Oh, nice,
I've gone twice. I went twice.
To a therapist I know. I used to see her. Yeah.
She's awesome.
She's the best, dude.
My thing with... I was better today, my sesh. But my first one, because I was pretty... I just had a rough weekend. Just emotionally. And I never really get, like, sad, but I was, like, sad. and I was sad, dude. I was sad.
Hey, I'm here to hear it, bro.
And so I had this sesh, and with like every time I've done therapy, you know, I'm like, yeah, so this is what's going on, you know. It's mostly pertaining to like heartbreak or whatever. And I was like, yeah, just like this heartbreak came up and stuff, and we get like 20 minutes into it, and I'm like, all right, I think that's all I got.
It's tough to fill an hour, dude.
It's tough, yeah.
It's like doing an hour of stand-up. You're like, how many bits do I have?
Yeah.
That's why you go into crowd work.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I was
How's
like,
your day going?
Exactly. I was like, so what's up with
Where
you?
are you from?
Yeah. I was like, where are you zooming from? Yeah, it was good. It felt good. And today I was actually able to like fill the hour.
Oh, really nice, dude.
Yeah.
So you're digging deep.
Yeah, I was digging deep. I was able to like actually talk about like, you know, it's just things kept coming up, which was nice. But
she's really good with that stuff too.
Yeah.
Like looking back and kind of working through it, processing.
Yeah. And it's like with the whole confidentiality aspect of it, I had a little bit of trouble getting past that at first because I'm like, I don't know why, but I was like, who's listening to this? You know what I mean?
Oh,
it was on
really?
Zoom. So I was like, are you recording?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
It tells you.
But I know. I didn't think she was recording, but I just had this like feeling in the back of my mind. I'm like, who's listening?
Because it's like sacred things that you're talking about, so you feel pretty vulnerable when you're letting them out.
Exactly, yeah. But it's nice. I like it.
I told you she had a name for it when I would feel the same way where I'd get like jittery and be like, all right, I'm out. She called it. She's like, oh, you got the I gotta goes.
Yeah.
And then she'd be like, just try and sit so you don't even have to talk. She'd be like, just because for me it's more like ADD, you know?
Yeah.
And she's like, just sit there and like sit still and just sit with it. And I'd be like, I got nothing. I gotta go.
Yeah.
And then then I'd sit back down and I'd do that like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do feel much better today.
You do good, man.
Yeah. And I think it was like a week of just like bumming, but I think I feel back to normal today.
It's good,
almost. Man. Yeah,
dude. I almost look at it too. It's like I mean, there's always reasons, but to me, it's like sadness or depression, and you know, there's a difference between the two, but the randomness of them, I mean, is like you're just like a boat out in the water, and it's like sunny and it's flat. And then just a rogue wave will come and just like knock your boat over. Yeah. And you're like, where the hell did that thing even come from? But there's like no real, you can't check the weather patterns for it. It just happens once in a while. Yeah. And then like you just spend a day or a week or a month just getting the boat back up and putting everything back together before you can like take it back out on the water. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's tough too with like relationships and like relationships ending too. It's like, I think guys especially try to do this is like, once they end, you just try to charge forward, and you're like, I'm good. Here we go. You know, like back out into the world. But then I feel like it's just like inevitable. It's gonna hit you, and it was painful, you know, the first couple of weeks and stuff. But I was like, kind of like, yeah, I'm good, too, single, loving it. But then it just like, I think, and she was saying this too, that for guys, it just like hits later on, where you're just like, it just comes out of nowhere, where you're just like, oh. And I was trying to quit vaping too, so it just like compounded everything. I was just. Yeah, it's like I was like laying in bed.
It's a nice little misery sandwich right there, dude. Yeah, you're in the middle,
dude. Yeah, and I was laying in bed. What was I watching? I was watching like Loki, and I was like, is this ever gonna end? Because I was like, I think I vaped too much, and I'm just gonna be withdrawing for the rest of my life, and I fucked it all up. That's what was going through my head,
dude. With happiness, you know it's fleeting. With pain, you think it's forever. Yeah. It's a weird thing.
Yeah.
I've got the vape lung pop.
Yeah, I got the vape. Yeah. Got the popcorn lung, baby.
That's really true what you're saying too about like, I've heard that before, that guys get hit by breakups later. Girls are initially sadder, guys it hits them later. Yeah. But like with my first girlfriend who we were on and off for a long time, it was like 2 years after the fact. Yeah. I just had like a weekend visiting my dad in Florida, and it hit me. I was like, she's gone forever. Right. And we ended up getting back together later. Yeah. So, you know, all these things can go in a bunch of different directions. Yeah. But I was decimated for a week, just laying in bed, sleeping. Best sleep I ever got. But I was just sleeping all the time. Right. Couldn't do anything.
It's brutal.
It's tough, man. It's tough.
And it's tough when you're going through it, of being like, why would I ever put myself through this? Like, I can't go through, because you're saying like most people have like 4 to 5, you know, serious
according to
relationship.
the intro of Love Life.
Yeah. Before they're married, I'm like, dude, this is just fuck. But I mean, that's why they write all those songs about it. But in the moment, I was like, how am I gonna go through this shit more?
Yeah, well, it's a powerful catalyst for what you put into your art and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And then also, I mean, this is like an easy way to contextualize it, and maybe it doesn't reflect the depth of it, but I think like how much pain you feel, I think is equal to how much you loved whatever you're feeling pain over.
Right.
So it's kind of beautiful in a way. It's like you loved her a lot.
Yeah.
And you guys had a really good relationship.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. So it's like, yeah, you're just mourning that.
Yeah. Yeah. And then when you get through it, it's much better. And it's like sort of like,
but it's necessary. Yeah.
Yeah. And you just learn from it. And then you just feel like, you know, you got to go through those experiences. As much as I want to stay stoked forever, you know, it's, I'm learning the importance of, you know, going through the roller coaster of life as opposed to just, you know, just being, you know, cruising through on high speed.
Yeah. And you've had a good run of being stoked most of the time.
Yeah. I'd
you
say
know?
like 99%.
Yeah. You had like when you like first like when you were like 24, you said, right?
Yeah.
And then now 30.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's a pretty unprecedented run of uninterrupted green lights.
Oh, I've had a great life. Yeah. I'm not complaining.
No, you can complain. You can complain.
Yeah.
I just say I'm impressed.
Oh,
by
I
you.
wasn't trying to.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, I was like, no, I do love.
I love you.
Yeah, love you too. Yeah, and I do love my life a lot. But it as much as I hate to experience sadness, it does feel good in a way. It's like an ice bath for the heart.
Well, see, Suzanne told me I like it because it makes me feel alive.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So I've kind of fetishized it in a way.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I struggle more with boredom.
Yeah.
And then so I'll go sad just to not feel bored.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I'm bored. I'm like, well, cry about how your parents are going to die one day.
Right.
And then afterwards, I'm like, that felt better.
Yeah.
I hope they don't, though. And I believe in cryogenic freezing. I told my brother knows the plan, that I'm supposed to get frozen if I die.
Right.
And even if it's not in my parents' wishes,
We're gonna Ted Williams that shit.
I might Ted Williams it.
Dude, hell yeah.
Ted Williams, like the kid had his like the head, right? Like the body got severed and he was just like ran away with the head and he was gonna freeze it or something like that.
Yeah, it was frozen, yeah. And sitting on top of a can of tuna or some shit like that.
Amazing.
Dude, tuna has lots of omega-3s.
There's a lot to learn from Ted Williams.
Yeah.
If we could bring him back, you know, what would you say best contact hitter of all time? I know you got your boy Tony Gwynn.
I mean, Tony Gwynn's the best contact hitter of all time.
But
Ted Williams
game, right?
had some serious power.
Yeah, but batted like 400, right?
The last one to ever do it.
Yeah. Pretty incredible. Now no one bats for average. We live in a totally different baseball.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
Have you heard of this Shohei Ohtani guy?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay, so there's a guy for the Angels who pitches and hits, which no one's done in like 100 years. And he's badass at both. And he's fast. I just showed Aaron a video of him beating out a single. We got to go watch him at Angels Stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, pitchers don't usually hit?
Never.
Really?
They do. They have to in the National League, but they
they're
all
not good.
suck.
Oh,
yeah.
they can hit well. That's okay.
Yeah, no, he's like leads the.
He's
Sounds like
leading
I
the league
swear
in
I've
home
seen
runs.
Kershaw hit.
Yeah, this guy's leading the league in home runs, which is unheard of. He has like 35.
Very anomalous.
Dude, what a beast.
He's very special. He's
Does
just-
he?
He could
Good.
hit 60 home runs this year.
Does he piss you off?
No.
Oh, you like it? Okay.
I don't. Yeah,
he doesn't like
we never-
Fernando Tatis, who's the other most exciting player in baseball.
I just don't like how good he is.
Right.
And
I just wanted to box you in
It came at
there,
our
too.
expense last October too.
Yeah.
And my buddy likes to wipe it in my face. It's like you barely know who the Padres are.
Right. He's just stoked they have a name guy right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else, dude?
But Otani's great. Yeah, it's insane.
I'm trying to see what other notes I took.
Although he has walked a lot of guys, which I find strange.
Yeah, his ERA is like, it's not like elite, but he's very good, right?
He's the best thing they have on either side of the ball, and that's why they suck, because they only have the one.
Yeah. Have you gone to any games yet?
I haven't. I was going to go to the Cardinals Dodgers series, which is, if they had a day game, I could have brought the baby, but they were all night games, so it was just going to be me. But even then, it was so expensive. This is before everything opened up.
Right.
Unless you wanted to sit in the vaccinated section, which was a shitty part of the stadium.
Interesting.
So I was just like, nah.
When you go to a Dodgers game, what do you eat? Do you get garlic fries?
I have, yeah.
Do you get a Dodger dog?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you get brews?
I don't drink.
You don't drink?
No.
You don't drink ever?
You don't drink ever?
No, not at all.
Really?
Never have. No.
How did I not know that?
I mean, I've drank. If I go to Vegas, I'll have a slushy thing. But
How did we not know that?
I don't know. I feel like I tell a lot of people about it.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, you play it so that's props to you for just playing it so like
I can hang.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh, Aaron's just chilling, he's hammered, but you're not.
No, I'll fuck with anybody if they're high or they're drunk. I don't care.
That's awesome, dude.
I'll take you as you are.
Dude, that just speaks to you as a dude.
Yeah,
versatile.
You just fired me up.
Utility
and I'll
player.
get us home safe.
Yeah,
for the most part.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, I don't do coke, but I like being around people on coke. It's an exciting time.
Yeah,
something.
And I kind of feel that chaotic all the time.
Yeah,
you know, like I feel like my brain's a dance floor, so I'm always looking for like that kind of energy.
Yeah.
So when I'm around people on coke, they're just talking a mile a minute, tangent ideas, a lot of intensity, a lot of passion. I'm like, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice.
Yeah, I remember times I've done it and just like, man, what do we, the conversation, dude, I get deep in the conversations. I mean, when I would take Adderall in college, you know, message people from high school, what's up, dude? How's it going? It's good to see you. I'm at Santa Clara and I'm just studying philosophy. What are you up to? And they're like, hey, man. But on coke, I get super passionate. You put on Ted Nugent's Stranglehold, we're going to have a conversation.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
It's a kind remembrance, though, to reach back to people in high school.
Yeah,
Which is a good thing to do. Yeah,
totally. Yeah,
you can take lessons from some of that behavior and be like, that's one thing I'd like to keep.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You're like, there's other aspects you don't want to keep, but that's a keeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you guys say that, yesterday, one of my best friends from high school, his birthday, I saw it on Facebook, and I just fucking hit remove notification.
You're a savage, dude.
I mean,
you're a savage.
I just move on with my life. I don't know.
Right.
I'm not attached to that town anymore.
That's sort of how I am.
Yeah. Like a Marie Kondo of
right.
your personal life.
Yeah, and it's something I need to work on too, because when people from my past sort of reach out, and I appreciate it, but sometimes I'm just like, you'll get like a text and you're like, oh, that's sort of what I think. I'm just like, oh, I'm busy, which I shouldn't, but that is my natural response.
It's interesting. I mean, I think there's a lot of positives to that too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think you grow a lot that way, and you're not attached to an identity as much that way.
Yeah.
Because when you're constantly reaching backwards, you're almost like reaching back to who you were back then too.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I like that. I'm just very sentimental that way.
Yeah.
But I think if you can keep going forward and just take life as what's new that it's offering you, you're probably you might become a lot of different things in a cool way.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, you're so different. That you talk a lot about how different you are than when you were in like college, right?
Oh yeah, I've changed a lot. I've gone through so many different phases. I'd say early childhood, from up until about 11, I was quiet and shy, but I was also a performer, and I would really bring that out, and especially like in front of like the family, Christmas time, I'd always trying to make people laugh, and then. And then school, I think high school kind of, and middle school kind of, I was still like kind of the performer in middle school, and then high school kind of took the wind out of my sails. I got beaten up a little bit, just like, I think just with the competitive culture that I was sort of thrust into, and I think I was just too sensitive for it. And that made me like turn inward kind of. And then I found partying. I became like a party guy, and that brought me back out.
And mine was kind of the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. I put all of like my enthusiasm for being the center of attention into partying rather than trying to find like a more traditional or like, I don't know, like school version of it, like theater or something like that, or debate or whatever, none of those things seem to fit for me. So I was like, I'll just be like, loud and talkative at parties.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I tried to do theater because I like knew inside I was like, I want to be a performer. But then I go to like acting class or like theater class, and I'd be like,
not shy.
I'd be like, dude, literally in my mind, I'd be like, this is what Leonardo DiCaprio does.
Dude, it's funny. When I was at
high school, theater's all musicals too, and it's just like, I don't want to sing.
At my second high school, it was pretty slim pickings for kids to perform in the play. And, I was like the most outgoing guy. So they're like, we're doing Grease. They're like, JT, we want you to play Danny Zuko.
Yeah.
They were like going to give me the part. I didn't really have to audition. I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
First day of dance practice, I'm in the back of the room and I go, and it's a shame I didn't have the comfort, but I looked around, I was like, no way. Just walked out. Yeah, totally. And like the vice principal was like, are you not going to do the show? And I was like, I didn't even give her like a big explanation. I was just like, yeah. And then just like left and never came back.
Amazing.
Yeah. It was, and I liked a lot of those kids too, but I was just, I I was always I like the jocks more. I just was always friends with kind of like cerebral jocks.
Same. Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's why end of high school to college, put all my energy into partying because that's how I was able to be outgoing.
That's how you had status in the
and fuel that performer side of me. And then I tried to do that in the real world, and it just wasn't working. I mean, I'd be blacked out, and people are like, "Why are you blacked out? It's like Thursday." And you're like, "What are you trying to do again?" I'm like, "Try to be a comedian." They're like, "What are you doing?" And that's why I, put a damper on the partying. But then found stand up. I'm like, that's where, and I was like, "Oh, I can get on stage," because I wasn't, I was pretty introverted still. I'm like half and half. I have that like extroverted side that wants to come out, but then it can be like primarily introverted. But then like having a mic on stage was like, I was like, oh, this is it.
Yeah, perfect match of player and part.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is. It's funny how what level of public intoxication I thought was like acceptable.
Yeah.
Like when I was 24 and I first came to LA, we went to the Hudson.
Yeah.
I get blackout drunk. I'm like kissing my friend Andrew on the mouth. I'm like climbing, which isn't wrong, but it was like, it was intense.
Yeah.
And then I'm climbing out the window of like the place and like coming in through the other window. And people are like, yeah, go, go, go. And then I fall asleep on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And I'm just sleeping on that's like Santa Monica. It's a busy intersection.
Right.
And I'm like, this is all totally normal.
Yeah.
I woke up the next day and I was like, I was pretty embarrassed actually that time. I remember Strider heard me in the middle of the night be like, try to laugh at my behavior.
Right.
But he could hear the insecurity. And then the next day he's like, you freaking dork, dude. He's like, I heard you try to laugh it off. He's like, I could like hear the shame in your giggle.
Yeah.
But I thought that was all relatively normal.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
To just be hammered in public.
Yeah. I think
it can be to sporting events or whatnot.
Totally. Yeah. I had it in my mind of like impressing girls, because I'd be like, wait till she sees me blacked out. She's going to be so impressed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like, I just didn't understand, what was attractive and what girls were looking for.
Is that because you would have thought that was hot in a girl? Like if a girl could rage hard, you're like, that's hot. She parties hard.
I think so. Yeah, I think a little bit. Yeah. Because I'm like, I just thought I was so cool when I was blacked out. I'm like, I'm gonna be quiet now, but wait till she sees me when I'm blacked out. She's gonna be so fired up and be like, I gotta hook up with this dude, and it doesn't really work.
It's funny too. I mean, like I used to do a lot of my sets and stand up on Adderall.
Yeah,
I just get so yacked out, and I thought I was just like crushing, and oftentimes I was having really good sets. But I remember when I first started doing them sober.
Yeah.
And like my brother's girlfriend was like, I like watching you a lot more when you're sober.
Yeah.
She's like, you're much more in it. You can like feel the beats of it more.
Yeah.
She's like, it's better when you're sober. But it didn't feel better to me.
Right.
It felt way worse because when you're on drugs, you feel invincible and you're like,
right.
You don't feel it when the audience doesn't laugh.
Right.
But having that like presence and that sensitivity is like, I think it's worth more than not having it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I remember you told me that too. I didn't drink for like 3 years and I started drinking again. A few years ago, and because I yearned for that. I was like, oh, but people aren't seeing like the cool side of me. That was what was going on in my head. So I started drinking again. And then you told me, you're like, I like you much better when you're sober.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And it sort of blew my mind. I'm like, really? Like I thought it was like so fun when I'm hammered. And you're like, hey, you're not really different. You're just kind of like slur your words a little bit. And I'm like, for real?
Yeah, you're great sober. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, you're great in all permutations, but yeah, you're perfect as you are. Yeah. Well, you told me the same thing too when I was doing all the Adderall, and I was like confessing to you one time we were driving mic to mic, and I was like, man, I just don't think I can be funny without the drugs. And you were really sweet about it, but you were like, dude, I think you'll realize that it's actually inhibiting you more than it's giving you.
Right.
Yeah, and I was like, nice, dude. I still had to hit a fucking massive bottom to stop, but it was good advice. Yeah.
Oh, thanks, man.
Should we answer some questions?
Yeah.
All right, let me go grab my laptop I left in the other room.
All right, here comes the mid-roll. Guys, I'm interrupting this podcast to let you know once again that we are brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped, thank you so much for keeping our trims pubed, for looking after our hogs, for making sure that our dogs are looking fresh and clean, because you got a dong or a vagina and you've got pubes, and it's time to trim those up with the Lawnmower 4.0. That's right, the 4.0. It's got an LED spotlight. You can see your trims in high def. Thousands of RPM motor. You can trim them up nice. And you'll get the Performance Package 4.0. That takes off not only in the USA, but Canada, the UK, Europe, Australia, South Africa, and Singapore. Manscaped has gone international, more than international this time around. If you're in one of those areas, order your Performance Package 4.0 today. You get the Lawnmower 4.0, you'll get the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, the Crop Preserver ball deodorant, the Crop Reviver toner, and your trims are gonna pube up so nice. So that's what's up. You'll get the Crop Preserver ball deodorant too. You get all kinds of stuff. Abort hairy balls and Buzz Lightyear that woody with Manscaped. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code GODEEP at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code GODEEP at manscaped.com for clean, trendy, and beyond. Your space balls will thank you. We're also brought to you by Helix Sleep. Helix Sleep. Guys, before Helix came into the picture, I had a firm mattress that I was really happy with. I was really stoked on it. I was getting a good night's sleep. And then Helix came in, they're like, take our 2-minute sleep quiz, check out our mattress. And I was a little bit reluctant, to be honest. And I took the sleep quiz, mattress came in, moved into a new place, rolled it out, slept on it for a night, and holy tomatoes, I had the best sleep of my life. Because they just knew what I needed. Not only was it firm, but it also had a little bit of like squishiness, but just the right amount. So I was like, this is incredible. And I want that experience for you. So, take the 2-minute sleep quiz. It'll match your body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress for you. Everyone's unique. Helix knows that. You have several different mattress models to choose from. They got soft, medium, firm, cooling down if you sleep hot, a plus-size mattress for plus-size folks. And it comes right to your door, super easy packaging, and it was awarded the #1 best overall mattress pick of 2020 by GQ and Wired Magazine. So just go to helixsleep.com/godeep, take their 2-minute sleep quiz, and they'll match you to a customized mattress that will give you the best sleep of your life. They have a 10-year warranty, and you get to try it out for 100 nights, risk-free. They'll even pick it up for you if you don't love it, but you will. I promise you that. Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners at helixsleep.com/godeep. We're also brought to you by Helix Beer Bongs. Get your Helix Beer Bong today if you're looking to chug ASAP at shopcgd.com. They're awesome beer bongs with our faces on them, and I think you'll really enjoy them. And we're also brought to you by Fruit Smash Hard Seltzer. If you're going to drink hard seltzer, if you're going to go out and party, check out Fruit Smash at your local store near you. Alright, back to the show. Oh, man.
Move your body up and down. Ooh, make your booty touch the ground. Ooh, I can't help but wonder why I made that for you, babe. I don't think you're ready for this, Jill. Do you like Destiny's Child?
No. And it's my wife's favorite artist, so it's her favorite movie's a Baz Luhrmann film. Her favorite artist is Beyonce.
Oh, opposites attract.
I don't like either. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I mean, Beyonce's talented, but she can't sing a song write a song to save her life.
How many of her songs has she written?
She's probably got credit on everything because she's smart, but it's all trash. I mean, you look at that.
Wait, Beyonce's all trash?
The songwriting.
Oh, like the lyrics aren't good?
Yeah, no.
I would kind of agree with you, yeah.
I mean, all those Destiny Child songs are just repeating the same word half the time, like bills, 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 no, no, no. Like,
I don't think you're ready for this jelly.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think you're ready for this beehive, dude. I said one thing about like Rihanna being better than Beyonce, and I got one of the angriest DMs I've ever gotten.
Oh, I'm sure I was. I was just telling Chad that like my wife's favorite artist is Beyonce, so like I have to keep this down at home for sure. But like, it's obvious. I mean, like you've seen that meme where it's like her and 9 writers and the shitty lyrics, and then Freddie Mercury, Bohemian Rhapsody.
Right, right.
One writer. I mean, it's really 4 guys.
And even like Halo is one of my favorite songs by her. I like big ballads like that. And that song was like intended for like, they gave it to like Leona Lewis first, and she didn't want it or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's not like personal to.
Yeah.
Or Ed Sheeran wrote "Love Yourself," so everyone thinks that song's about Selena Gomez. It's like he didn't even write the song.
Yeah, it's very muddy right now in terms of who writes what, but like, and there's stuff where Beyonce tried to do what Jay-Z does, where he doesn't write anything down, ever.
It's amazing.
It's insane. but it's also why he rhymes things with the same word.
You can see him when they have the video of like him hearing "Dirt Off Your Shoulders" for the first time when Timbaland came up with the beat. It's a great video because they're both just dudes at like the peak of their powers and they're just both so like confident and good at what they do. But Jay-Z goes in the room and he's like, "All right, I'm just gonna do this off the cuff." Comes up with like a third of the lyrics for the song,
really,
like or 2/3. Yeah,
wow.
I'm sure he does multiple takes and everything, gets it right.
Yeah,
like,
that's awesome.
but he came up with the bones of it on that first take.
A lot of times he rhymes words with the same words.
They were saying he can remember like the whole album in his head, like just
really?
Yeah,
he must. Yeah,
wow.
He's got a big brain.
But yeah, Beyonce tried to do that. You know, now since they've been together, it's just like that's why you got lyrics like surfboard.
That's a good song. Surfboard,
grating on that wood.
Riding on that
made
wood.
Of wood and how
Grating on that wood.
I mean, what song is that?
Drunken Love.
Drunken
right?
Love, yeah.
Oh, really?
Drunken Love.
I gotta check that out.
Mm-hmm. It's funny when they did their concert film together, and even though Jay-Z's like the most charismatic, like one of the most charismatic hip hop performers of all time, it's just like the on stage talent disparity when you see Beyonce like dancing like a maniac.
She's clearly talented,
hitting these incredible notes, and then Jay-Z's just talking. It's just
in a white t-shirt.
Yeah, they don't them next to each other. You're like, I don't know, dude. All right, let's answer some cues.
I wanted to say, because you guys are talking about drinking and all this, you know, how you thought you needed it to do stuff. Like, I just never had that feeling. You know, that's why. I mean, I watched my buddy's dad like drink too much and fly off the handle as a little league coach and stuff like this. Like, so
like
I had
at Little League, like at the games.
Yeah. He got in trouble for some words he said.
Was he was hammered at the games?
He was just always drinking, always Keystone Light every day, all day long. And he passed like a month before my dad. But so that was my like. He was never a role model to me, but like a role model for drinking. So like that's where I was just like, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And then I got, you know, right when I hit teenage years, I was like getting, I wouldn't say political, but just like philosophical. And I almost studied philosophy in college. I almost minored in it. And then it got super to Carlin. I didn't know Carlin was a huge pothead.
Right.
Drug addict.
Yeah.
For long years. But yeah, so I just never looked to something else, which made it hard. I mean, it's just obviously, you know, I probably would have had a lot more ladies if I was a little more loose.
I don't know. I mean,
you never know.
In times when I've been so
white knuckle it through life, you know. That's what I call it. Just white knuckling through life.
Right. Yeah. In times when I've been sober, I've had more success dating wise. Because I think when you have that composure, it's they can sense that. That you're like, oh, this guy's a little bit more, has a better grip on who he is, I think. Maybe.
It's a powerful thing. I mean, that's what people in programs are often kind of, that's the aspiration.
Yeah.
Is that you get to a place where you're motivated to be your best self. And then that kind of like transcends any of the things that you felt like drugs gave you.
Yeah.
Or whatever your addiction is.
Yeah. Because you really learn who you are.
I think I have a more intense resting face than you do. So like, I don't look as fun loving, like when you're just normal. I don't know.
But you're a fun guy.
I feel like I am.
Yeah, you're the best.
I'll fuck around. Like let's
no, I've never even thought about your drinking at all. Like whether you do it or not. It's never like really factored into my thinking. Yeah. Which I think is a compliment, right? Yeah.
Which is also weird because I do love Vegas.
Right.
But I don't gamble and I don't drink.
Well, Vegas is the fucking best. That's the thing about Vegas. Vegas is good no matter what.
I just like that it feels like summer camp. Because I never went to summer camp. And when I did go to camp, it sucked.
Yeah.
But it's like all hours. I love a 24-hour town. Like I wouldn't like New York because I think it feels crushing to me, the big buildings. But I just love the idea of being able to get up to still be awake at 4 a.m. And looking for something to eat.
And there's a hardness in LA. I mean, it's probably there in Vegas too if you live there. But in Vegas, everyone is kind of, I mean, like you're seeing some people take their hedonism too far. But for the most part, everyone's there in like kind of a joyous attitude.
True,
you know what I mean?
Kind of
in New York, people are like smoking cigarettes and they're on the subway and they're like, get out of my way. I'm on my way to work. Like you're in my way. Yeah. And that's a fun energy. But it's not as like easygoing as Vegas, I guess.
Yeah. I did Vegas sober for Schmoll's wedding. I loved it.
Yeah.
You wake up and we wake up feeling good. You go to the gym, nice ass gym, and I walked the strip a little bit, and it was like, the idea of waking up and not feeling hungover in the morning in Vegas was like it just felt great. I was like, this is awesome.
When I'm in Vegas, because I drink so much when I'm there and I'm out in the sun so much, I'm playing catch up every day.
Right.
Like I'm fatigued and I have to like find ways. I have to take naps and do all these things to kind of just get back to normal.
Yeah.
Feels like I'm going 15 rounds.
Totally.
Not 12, like pre 1985 or whatever. Like still those championship rounds. Like I'm in deep water.
Yeah.
And I got Ali just bearing down on me, hitting me with everything he's got. But I'm gonna keep coming. I'm gonna get you in the Thriller in Manila. You going down, Ali? That was me as Joe Frazier. Dude, should we answer some cues?
Yeah.
Blackout Fest. Lately, I've been on a concerning blackout streak. I always hear about the things I do in the morning and usually regret my actions. I try to combat this by drinking beer rather than liquor, but I always find my way to the liquor and find myself waking up still drunk, usually on a hardwood or concrete floor. Do you stokers have any suggestions on how to get better at handling my alcohol? I'm about to go into my first year of college where I'll be playing football. I feel like football players are held to a higher standard, and blacking bi-weekly, sometimes more often, is a bad thing to carry with me into my future endeavors. Thanks, fellas. Keep up the great work, and thanks again for answering the cue.
My dog, thank you for writing in. I think it's pretty clear that you aren't able to sort of, take your booze in moderation, and you're going into college. So I think I would designate your party nights. I wouldn't try to go every weekend because, if you have something big coming up and you were like, I can't get too hammered. I've got like an exam. I got a big game. So I'm just going to have a couple beers tonight. I don't think you're the type of person that can handle that. And just the way, the way if you have that beast inside of you that just wants to get, blacked out, I don't think moderation is really an option. So I think I would, if you're going to drink, I would designate the right times to do it so you don't have too many consequences. Because I recognize that myself. I can't control it. And I just want to get blacked out. So, I just do it sparingly.
I think you're right, dude. Yeah, and specific to that, I think Chad's nailed it. And then specific to the athlete thing, I mean, like I said, I read that Lakers book, and there's guys on the team who kind of fizzle out because they can't get their partying in order.
Yeah.
They come to practice and they smell like booze, and as you go to college, the level of competition is going to get higher.
Yeah.
So you're going to be dealing with guys who are just as athletic as you, but if they're more disciplined, they're going to be kicking your ass. So, a lot of people, they choose socializing over whatever sport brought them to school, but you seem like you're really into football. So I'd try and give your all into that and just try and be disciplined for that. It's good motivation.
Yeah.
If I can be the dad here too, like, you're going to be a college football player. You're a giant weapon when you're drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If you have actions you regret. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so far seems like he's only messed himself up by waking up on these floors or whatever, but
yeah, you don't want to sock a dude or get too handsy with a lady and then be dealing with that the next day.
Totally.
Yeah, someone else is gonna feel like shit and you're gonna feel like shit. So if you can skip that, man, that's the better course.
Totally. Yeah, and I think I would even venture to say that maybe you should give sobriety a try, especially at least during the football season, because I think maybe you can't see it now, but drinking might be making you more miserable than you think. And it's hard to tell people that who are just going to college, but if you're writing in about this, I'm sure it gives you a lot more anxiety and probably malaise than and you're young and you're partying and stuff. So when you're going through that, you're like, oh well, I'm partying. This is like sort of what's I'm supposed to be doing, but that's not necessarily the case. So maybe give it a break and see how you feel, because the anxiety I used to have of like, oh, I'm gonna black out, what am I gonna do, what am I gonna say, especially I'm not even a big dude, but if I were, it's the anxiety from that, and removing that from your life is pretty epic,
pretty cush. Yeah.
All
right, what up to the patrons of Stoke? Sorry for the long message, but I've recently gone through a familiar situation with my lady, and I'm unsure how to proceed. So here's the rundown. My roommates and I recently celebrated a 21st birthday over the weekend, and we raged hard. The theme was cowboy night, so everybody and their ladies showed up dressed in some fabulous Western attire. I took it upon myself to put together a pair of denim assless chaps to not only wow the crowd, but also as a reward for myself for not shying away from depth on leg day. To keep it brief, the fellas loved it. In fact, I placed second in our costume contest. Let's go, dude. My lady, however, did not like my costume at all. At one point in the night, she pulled me aside to tell me that she wasn't comfortable with my cheeky outfit and that she wasn't into it when I put my arm around her like that. After the party dispersed and we went home, she and I had a heart-to-heart in which she reminded me of how she doesn't like to feel embarrassed or like all the eyes on her in social settings, such as the rootin' tootin' rager on the ranch. She felt that I had embarrassed the both of us with my brash costume and behavior at the rager, and I just find it hard to agree. I love this girl with all my heart, and I don't want to put her on edge when she and I socialize as a pair. This isn't the first time this has been a problem, so I'm definitely aware of the magnitude of this situation. So Lords of Stoke, what do I do? Shall I continue to ride by the seat of my assless pants and rage the way I love? Or do I pull myself up by my bootstraps and reel it in for the lady I love? Thank you for your wisdom, bros. Oh, P.S. My bare ass was not hanging out of the chaps. I wore 2 pairs of underwear underneath, so to the best of my knowledge, I hadn't committed any crimes or such.
His ass wasn't even showing?
Dude, for her to be freaking out and your ass isn't even showing, I already thought if your ass was showing, if I'm just being totally candid, I think you're not, it's harmless fun. Yeah. And so for her to be trying to rein that in, that's not a bad part of yourself.
No.
And you're giving joy to others and you're feeling joyous in that. Like, that's kind of, for me, amongst the best human experiences.
Yeah.
So for her to be like kind of being fuddy-duddy about that, I think that's not cool. And then the fact that your ass wasn't fucking out.
Yeah.
You're wearing 2 pairs of boxers.
Yeah.
That's like not even a thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, Prince did it.
Prince does it.
Can't not be cool.
Right. Exactly.
And you don't feel bad. You know the answer to this. I almost said his name. You know, dude.
Yeah.
You know, bro.
Well, here's the thing. It's like he wants to live his truth. He had a lot of fun. Assless chaps, I love it. Everyone at the party loved it. He got second place. I mean, it wasn't like he was thrown out of the party. Why should she be so embarrassed? And I think
it's her parents, dude. She came from a house where, like, if you stick out, you're shaming the folks.
Right.
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, if his ass was out, he would have won first.
That's true too.
Without
First place goes to the person who commits.
Like, how did he not win first? Now I know.
Now we know.
Yeah.
Great call. Yeah, dude, I think I would talk to her and be like, look, you can try to control me, but you're putting a lion in a cage. And eventually, I'm going to explode. And, I'm going to have to show my ass for real.
You're trying to rope this Bronco, and I'm going to buck.
That's the thing. You guys are going to be at the Abbey. You're going to be watching all these libertine gay dudes getting after it on elevated surfaces. And you're going to be like, I want that. I want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
And then you're going to be in pain that you can't do it because, like, she's going to judge you for it. And there's nothing wrong with it. So you just got to, you can't live that life, man. He's too young. He's too young.
Yeah, you got to let loose. And you got to, you got to talk to her about how, you got a wild side and you need to explore it.
Yeah, and it's a nice wild side.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not like lighting cars on fire.
I think I think she's being super unfair and honestly, kind of a boner jam.
I think she needs to find a friend because if it comes to you, it might be, she'll think you're biased. She needs to get a friend. She needs to go on like an eat, pray, love journey of like finding her own assless chaps.
Right.
And like find that expression in herself. So then, because ideally, I don't want you to break up with someone. I want you guys to hold hands with your asses out. And I think that can happen, but you got to tell her, like, look, you need to like uncork a little bit.
Yeah. Look, my name is the Slayer.
Okay? Yeah. I'm Big Rod.
And my ass cannot be covered.
Doesn't
at a
belong
hoedown.
covered.
It cannot be covered at a hoedown.
Slayer, your ass deserves to be out 100%.
Thank you so much, Big Rod.
When I don't see your ass, I get sad, and I know the rest of the crew does too. We're all on our bikes, and we look over there, and we're like, why the fuck are Chad's asses covered? And then whenever I see your butt, I push a little harder on my bike. I have a better day. I need that. I don't know why your old lady's all haranguing you. I think you're a great guy. I think you got a nice tush, and I think you're doing everything right. That's my opinion. But hey, man, I'm just a biker dude. I don't know about your personal life or nothing, but that's how I feel, man.
Big Rod, can I tell you something? Can I tell you something right quick?
Yeah.
But dang.
Man. I didn't know you were gonna say that, man.
Well,
I knew you were gonna say something. I didn't know you were gonna say, but dang.
It came out of me, and I had to say it. You know, I say it sparingly too. I only say it when I'm really riled up.
I haven't heard you say it in 3 years.
When I'm root tooting and I'm cocking my guns back and shooting at the Bronco that's coming after my hog.
I haven't heard you say in 3 years since your ass got covered. That's the first time I heard you say "but dying" in 3 years.
You know, my lady. I mean, you know her, Roseanne.
Good lady.
She makes a mean casserole, but she doesn't like my ass, and it hurts my feelings.
When you told me she makes you go to the bathroom with your pants on and you just have to put holes in all your jeans, I thought that was terrible. That seemed like excessive overkill and just a ruining of a good pair. You're buying new jeans every day.
God, Big Rod, she made me pork with the hole in my britches.
She makes you shower with your jeans on. It's crazy, man.
That's
I came
right.
over. You're like, I'm in the shower. Come on in. I was like, all right, well, that's cool. I'm probably going to see him naked. I walk in. You got pants on, and your nipples were covered.
My nipples are covered. I show up to the Harley dealership. They're like, "Why do you have suds on your dungarees?" I'm like, "Cause Roseanne, she doesn't like my new body."
She's a good lady. All right,
She's a good lady.
I don't know. I don't want to besmirch her too much. I'll tell you off mic what I really think about her. Podcast question: advice on charisma and ED. What up, Kings? I hope this request for knowledge finds Chad, JT, and any esteemed guests on the podcast well. I must begin with the sincerest of thanks for being the fuel to my fire of stoke. I've been a listener since episode 15 and can say that y'all have accompanied me through the roller coaster ride that is high school and college, and I'm forever grateful for your wisdom thus far. However, I come to you with a slight conundrum. It all relates to having game with members of the opposite sex. First, I suffer from pretty severe social anxiety. Lately, I feel as though this quality is just being magnified as I get older and prepare to start junior year of college. Ultimately, I am a complete little bitch about approaching girls that I do not know. Additionally, if I ever do muster up enough drunken courage to approach them, the conversation falls flat immediately, so much so that I am starting to believe that I am just a socially uninteresting person. What are some tips or thoughts you guys may have on this issue? An additional detail is that I perform really poorly under pressure. For example, if a friend puts pressure on me to make moves or approach someone, I quickly lock up and refuse like a total schmoll. Furthermore, and unrelated, I am having boner issues, and I can't put a pin on whether it's performance anxiety related, alcohol related, or if I'm just drilling too much. Any advice would be dope on the dong, especially from JT. I am way too young to not be wielding solid wood. Love you guys. Keep up the upstanding work you put in.
Could be any of those three things. Also, get your hormones checked.
I think it is. I think it's probably all three of those things to some degree. It's where it's just, but Chad, do you want to start with the charisma and then I'll handle the dong?
Yeah, I think, because I sort of had this issue too, and I think one thing that I did that I suspect you might be doing is you're trying to give off like a perfect image of yourself to people, and you're scared to show people who you are, and you're scared to sort of take a hit, and I'm just guessing you're scared to sort of show your flaws to people, which is like sort of the basis of connection. It's like honesty, and then like connecting on things that you're vulnerable about, and also in terms of like, approaching a lady or just like talking to new people. It's like you're putting yourself out there, and it's scary, but I promise you that when you do, the feeling after you do it, no matter how the interaction went, is so gratifying and amazing that it's just so rewarding. So I would start to be a little bit more honest about who you are to people, and also, just talk about what's going on in your life, because you are an interesting dude. I guarantee you that.
Everyone's interesting if they're being authentic, I think.
Yeah, exactly. You need to be a little bit more of your authentic self, which takes time to discover. It took me time to discover. But, just sort of talk about what's going on in your life. Talk about your interests. One thing I do is if I'm in a conversation with someone and, you just point out like, oh, I like your shirt, I like your hair or whatever. Just, talk about something that happened to you that day, and then you just start connecting, and you just have stories about things that happen in your life, and you'll connect with people on sort of the messiness of life. That's what you'll connect with people on. And so don't be afraid to show people your true self.
100%. And then, dude, just practice, man. Just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Just keep doing it, and don't let a loss get to your heart. You know what I mean? Just keep going and just keep going. And if you can just be like process, you'll get there. And then do with the boner thing, bro. I still have boner problems all the time. It's fine. Nobody cares. Just be a good listener. Talk a little bit. Use whatever other tools you got. And then it'll work out. You're going to get a boner. You're going to be fucking nice and right when you meet the right lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
I guarantee his dink works.
Yeah, your dink works, bro. And if it doesn't, you'll be fine, dude. But it works. It works really well, dude. You got a nice boner, dude. And that thing was meant to be inside someone you love.
Nice.
And when you guys do that, you're going to be feeling great. You're going to be like, all those boner problems are worth it to get to this point.
Nice.
Because this puss fits my dick perfectly.
Whoa.
Next question. Am I a douche?
Am I a douche?
Dude, I want to say this dude's name. It's Jean-Luc Jobert.
Nice.
So just based off that,
Yep.
I don't even think I need to read the question, dude. That's many questions for today, dude.
What else is a French word? Douche.
Is that true?
Yeah, of course.
Nice. Am I a douche? My question is, I can't do French, but I'll try. Am I a douche? I want a croissant, and I want to be a douche. Is that wrong?
I am a douche.
I am a douche. Is that wrong? Jean-Luc, listen to me, Jean-Luc. Sup, Chad, JT, and any dope guest that might be on. My name is Jean-Luc, and I am concerned that I might be an absolute douche canoe. I'm 19, and I've been in and out of relationships since the end of my sophomore year of high school. I've been in 3 big relationships that have all lasted for at least 8 months, but it keeps getting to the point where I find myself tuning out at the end of the relationships. It keeps happening that it hits me hard, and I'm head over heels for a girl. We date for a while, but then I feel like they aren't for me after like 7 months of dating. I'm worried that I might be subconsciously a complete asshat, which isn't who I want to be. After I broke up with my most recent girlfriend, I went to BMT and had a lot of time to contemplate my past actions, and this has eaten me up. What's BMT? Is that in Canada?
I have no idea.
It's like...
British Mountain?
Yeah.
Terrace?
Banff?
Bacon, mutton, and tomato.
For some reason, I pictured
When
like
the mutton's nice and thin.
For some reason, I pictured a laser tag spot.
Dude, that's a good place to have epiphanies.
Pew, pew,
He's just in
pew,
a
pew.
corner with his gun down, his jacket's lighting up, and he's like, maybe I do need to color back.
Yeah.
Friends are like, get your head in the game, man.
Yeah, fucked up.
I guess the Lakers used to have really intense paintball battles, and Shaq would always be on one team and Kobe would be on the other one.
Yeah.
And some rookie says he just remembers Kobe looking him in the eye and be like, kill them. And the guy was like, dude, relax, man. Do you think I sound like some player schmoll, or is this a normal thing that people go through when they're younger? Thank you for any help you can give. Love the pod. Love y'all. Peace. Yeah, dude, 100%. I think this guy's just young.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not doing anything weird. Yeah.
I think, and the fact that he's
It's nice though that you think about it.
Yeah, and I think the fact that he's thinking about it, and he's sort of like it seems like a very sensitive guy.
Yeah.
That means you're not being a douche. I think you're probably making the right move, which is like understanding that the relationship isn't working and you're moving forward.
You're learning. You're trying to find the right person. I think you're going to be a very thoughtful adult who finds a quality partner. Yeah, because you're already thinking about this stuff at a pretty mature level.
Yeah.
I would just, and don't be mean. I'm not trying to give you permission to be callous, but like, dude, I think you're good, man. Yeah. Jean-Luc,
Yeah, if
you're good.
If you're like 7-8 months in and you know it's not right for you, you're not an asshole for getting out of it.
Right.
It's just kind of how you do it can be an asshole way to do it, but.
And that's when the limerence wears off, is after like 6 or 7 months, right? That's when like that huge hit of
Limericks?
limerence, I think is what I learned it was called in like a sex psychology class. I might be wrong though. It was just like the state of a relationship where you're like the honeymoon stage,
phase,
basically. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
And then that's gonna go away, dude. Yeah.
that's going to happen in a good relationship. So don't worry about it. It's fine.
Oh, dude, to the kid who was drinking with the alcohol problem, I forgot to mention this. So I was reading that book about the replacements too, and it's like, I think the thing I like about reading books about different periods of time is you always find out what the diets were back then. Like in a Season on the Brink about the 80s Indiana team, Bobby Knight like thought his wife was overweight, so he sent her to Duke for the rice diet, which was the most popular diet at the time. You just eat rice. Now we'd be like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
These guys were hardcore drinkers, the replacements, and all of them would just drink a ton of milk.
Really?
Because they said that helped with booze.
Interesting.
Yeah, and that seems to me today, I'm like,
That's
that'd be
horrible.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they'd be like, yeah, they were prepared for a hard night of drinking, so they all chugged like 5 glasses of milk. I'm like, oh.
That sounds
Coat your
brutal.
stomach, but
Yeah, I guess that's what it was for, right?
from the acidity of the alcohol, but it's still a bad idea.
Ugh.
Just eat.
Pretty hilarious.
Diarrhea City.
Yeah.
Chattiest Von Steak. Who's your beef of the week?
Do you say Von Steak?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. My beef of the week is with the LA Department of Plumbing.
Dude, I thought you were going after the mask mandate.
Oh, no.
We're anti-mask now, by the way. Look, we're all vaccinated, guys. Come on, we got to move on.
It's the LA Department of Sewage or whatever. They spilled millions of gallons of sewage into El Segundo, into the Osh. Dude, not cool.
They did that?
Millions of gallons.
That's too many.
El Segundo, Dockweiler, I think Manhattan Beach, they're still closed. It's a week later. Still closed by all the dookie that they spilled. They spilled like millions of gallons of doo-doo into the ocean.
Oh, my God.
And on top of that, I think it was spilling out for like an hour or something. They didn't notify the public for like 12 hours. So I'm sure some dudes were going in there to shred and probably just got a mouthful of Duke.
That to me is worse than what Michael Vick did.
You think
we
so?
mentioned Michael Vick earlier, if this is a clip.
Right.
Yeah, I think you got to go to jail.
Yeah.
If you cover people in Duke
Right.
without their consent,
Yeah.
yeah, it's bad. You got to do some time.
How would you feel if you got barreled in a dookie barrel?
I'd be pretty sad. I'd be pretty disgusted.
You get spit out and you're like, oh.
You're going to be lower than the chomos at prison too, by the way.
Yeah. Dude, yeah.
It's child molester. Chad gave me that word earlier.
Everybody at the beach gets pink eye. Like, well.
Oh, man. Dude, all the dookie there. Yeah, so, my people with you guys. Way to go. Way to go. You spilled millions of gallons of doo-doo in the fucking Osh.
It sounds like a city council speech.
Yeah. That guy's... that was just not cool.
Yeah, especially to do it as a joke. Like, you know they did it because they thought it was funny.
Yeah.
And there's nothing funny about it, El Segundo.
Yeah.
It's not funny to cover people in Duke. There was a time, in my adolescence, a little later than most, where I still thought that was funny. But
right.
I've definitely grown out of that. So, I don't know. Get your kicks other ways, dude.
Yeah, I mean, there's way better pranks to do.
It's disgusting. I can't believe they did that.
Yeah.
Who do you think they are? Dave Matthews, bus driver?
Dude. What happened there?
When he was on the bus was on a bridge above a river in Chicago, and I guess the bus driver just dumped the tanks like off the bridge and hit a fucking a tour boat that was going underneath.
No,
just raining shit on.
Crash
oh my God.
into me.
Yeah. I don't think the band was on the bus at the time, but
so if that happened to you, if you were on the tour boat, and you'd be pissed because you just got Duke all over you.
Yeah.
But if you heard that it was Dave Matthews Duke, would you be less mad?
There's like 40 guys in the band.
You'd
You
be
never
more
know whose
pissed.
Duke it was.
Right,
He's just like
right.
the fourth saxophonist.
Right.
more pissed.
Dude, the saxophonist Duke got me. I mean, because
The fiddle player.
I love Dave Matthews, but their saxophone. That Duke better not get on me. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
No, very generic riffs.
Yeah.
I think I want to make sure there's a saxophone player in Dave Matthews real quick. I always do this. I got a stickler for this stuff.
It'd be funny if there wasn't.
Yeah, let me see. Is there a saxophone in Dave Matthews Band? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Leroy Holloway.
Oh, he looks like a cool guy.
He does look like a cool guy. Sorry, Leroy. I would happily take your Duke as much as any other member of the Dave Matthews Band.
Yeah.
I'm glad we cleared that up. Aaron, who's your beef of the week?
I have two beefs this week. My first beef was with Costco. Look, Costco, I love that you have so much stuff at such discounted prices. But you don't have all the stuff. And when I go there and I spend $350 and get all this stuff, and I still have to go to the grocery store for the stuff you don't have, it's very frustrating. My second beef of the week is colds. Have you heard of these? Have you had one in a while? I haven't. It's been like 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
They fucking suck.
You had so you
have
had
one?
one.
Yeah, I'm getting over it.
Are you contagious?
No, I shouldn't be.
Because
It's not COVID.
We kissed earlier.
Oh, well.
You should have said something.
I did, but I said it with my fingers.
Yeah.
I just got covered in
You
your
right.
Duke.
You're good, dude. You got bulletproof immunity, dude. You could sleep in Duke. You'd be fine.
I do. It's good for the immune system.
My beef of the week is
I have been wearing a mask at the studio though, because when it was really bad, because that's what you should do. That's what people have been doing in Asia forever.
Nice.
for sure.
Keep it to yourself.
Beast.
My beef of the week is with my feet. They smell. I've noticed a trend over the last month or two where whenever I used to wear my socks like 2 days in a row, 3 days in a row. Now I pick up my sock to reuse it and I'm like, that ain't happening. Yeah.
So how do your hands smell on the pod?
My
Because
hand?
you're always picking your feet.
Oh, that's true. No, it doesn't transfer that much, thank God.
Okay.
But yeah, and if I ever have company coming over, I wash my feet before they get here.
You do?
Yeah.
Respectful.
I run into the show and I'm like,
That's nice.
yeah. But yeah, my feet are getting smellier. And I talked to my friend Greg and he said, he doesn't share the same issue, but he said, dude, you're just getting older, bro.
Yeah.
You start to smell.
Yeah.
Damn.
I know, it sucks, dude. It sucks.
That's one of the harder hitting ones.
Oh yeah, for me too. Yeah.
Dude, because of this cold, I snored so bad my wife slept in another room.
Wow.
It's terrible. And she gave me the cold, so
Oh, that's, you know what?
it's on her.
Yeah. To take away snuggles from my dog. Chad, who's your babe of the week?
My baby of the week. Samuel L. Jackson.
Nice.
I don't know if I've ever done him before, but I mean, it goes without saying, the guy's an absolute legend. Too many roles to count. I mean, he just brings the heat to every movie I think he does. And it's like when Samuel L. Jackson is in there, you know it's going to be a good time. And I just bring him up because I was watching The Negotiator last night. Great movie. Get me Mark Sabian. Get me Mark Sabian.
The opening scene, he was wearing that turtleneck and he's talking to his daughter and his wife.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. Negotiating with his wife. He's awesome. He's not awesome.
No, he's a good actor though.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
He's one of the best actors ever.
He's really good.
Yeah, he acted like I wasn't a creep for a long time, and then we found out.
Yeah, true.
My mom always said he was the sexiest actor alive.
Really?
Speaks to my mom's taste. Leash.
I hope your dad didn't hear that. She's like, what? I mean, Samuel L. Jackson and Die Hard 3, Pulp Fiction, all the Tarantino movies, Snakes on a Plane, Shaft, Unbreakable. Is that what it was called?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's in so many movies. And I like him because he's so professional. I watched his masterclass, and one of the cooler things I thought he said is he's just like, he's very professional. I do what I do. Sometimes they try to give you direction. I don't take the direction because I do he's very confident in himself and in his abilities, which is really inspiring. And he's just basically like, he's like, I'm an actor. It's my job. He's not sort of one of these like, I'm an artist and I fucking, blah, blah, blah. He's like, it's my job. I go in, I do the work. I'm prepared. I get it done. I like that. And one thing too is he talked about actors who, can't watch themselves on screen. And he's like, if you can't watch yourself, then how do you expect anyone else to want to watch you?
Oh, interesting.
Which is like a cool thing I think he said, because I think it's a lot of it is people, I can't watch, and I have that too, of like, I can't watch myself, like, it's like just, sack up and watch yourself, and you'll learn, I think, too.
So it's a little precious, right? Where it's like, I can't, I'm such an artist, I can't look at myself.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to be watching your own movies at home,
right?
When you have company over. But come on, you're at like the premiere, you can't like give it a once over.
Or if like the editor's sending you a cut, and they want notes or something, it's like you got to be able to, help out in the process.
Dude, I think he's one of the best actors ever. Especially in Tarantino movies like Pulp Fiction and Django Unchained.
Yeah.
He looks like he's having so much fun.
Yeah.
He's still very believable, but you can feel like it feels like he's having fun in all those scenes. Yeah. And it's contagious.
It's got to be a good hang, right?
Oh,
I think he's a killer hang. Yeah.
And how old is he? He hasn't aged a bit.
No, he looks great. He had some pretty vicious drug problems.
Yeah.
When he did the movie Jungle Fever, his like team was like, he played a crackhead in it. They're like, don't do it, it's too close to home.
Right.
Yeah. But he got to the other side of it. Yeah. That's dope. It's good. Yeah, he's one of the best. Who's your babe of the week?
My babe of the week is air conditioning. It's been hot
Nice.
as balls in LA lately, and just in my neck of the woods especially. It's just a lifesaver. I don't know what I'd do without it. And even air conditioning in my car too is really good. Like we've been taking my wife's car lately with the baby, and like the baby started sweating because we don't have like the vent in the back the way that my car does. Oof. It's a life changer.
Nice.
Gotta have the vent in the back for the baby.
Yeah, Todd Berry has a great joke about air conditioning. He's like, some people don't like air conditioning. I'm like, yeah, what is it besides a perfect solution to a problem?
Well, yeah, I just shared someone's tweet about air conditioning. Like, no, I don't want to come over to your house where you keep the air conditioning at 75 in your fucking terrarium, you lizard.
I did see that on yours. That was funny.
I butchered it just now, but yeah.
No, you did good. No,
You lizard.
that is a funny insult for someone.
I call A-Rod it multiple times a year on Twitter.
A-Rod?
Yeah, he's a lizard. He's a lizard trying to pretend to be a human.
Nice.
He's not a human.
Yeah, people don't relate to him. His teammates, it always looked like they were like when they would be celebrating together, he just looks so awkward in the group. You're like, yeah, that guy kind of doesn't seem like he knows how to hang. He's got all the pieces to be a cool guy, but he can't put it together.
The last
That's how I used to
Oscars
describe
he was
this guy
at,
from high school.
the last Oscars he was at with J-Lo, he was doing some weird thing with his teeth. I was just like, what the like, he was like doing beaver face, like where you put your upper lip up. Mm-hmm. But that was his smile. It was like, what is wrong with you?
When you see someone who
Weirdo.
can't like smile
Yeah.
genuinely, you're like, something's wrong.
A lot of distrust there.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just don't feel joy
Yeah.
like we do. My baby of the week is Canelo Alvarez's head movement. He's like one of the best boxers in the world right now. And I don't know if it was always this good, but it's just gotten incredible. And so he can just stand right in front of a guy, another one of the best fighters in the world, and he can just dodge their punches for like just beautifully, like just moving perfectly and just subtly slipping and pulling back. And it just looks so incredible. And the thing is, sometimes I think he's just doing it to show he can do it. Like he doesn't always return fire off it or counterpunch. I think he's just doing it to impress the fans and the judges. And it works. Like the thing with boxing is like, I watch a lot of old fights and like Sugar Ray Leonard versus Marvin Hagler. Marvin Hagler probably landed the better punches, but Sugar Ray Leonard's punches looked cooler. And so the judges gave him the fight.
Yeah.
And so I think like there's theater in boxing. You don't just have to win. You have to look like you're winning.
Right.
And Canelo Alvarez's head movement is like a way to do that, even though it's not hurting the other guy.
Yeah.
And so it's just kind of a,
That's why every fight should have to be end in a knockout.
you got to end until when he's dead. But it's beautiful and it's just kind of theater. And I think it's beautiful theater. Yeah.
Nice.
Chad, who's your legend of the week?
My legend of the week is Alan Carr. He's the author of this book, The Easy Way to Quit Smoking. And I know I've talked about vaping too much on the pod, but this book is like, out of all the quitting methods I've tried, this book is the one.
Yeah, I've heard that one's legit. Yeah.
Yeah, because what he does is he reframes your relationship with like nicotine and smoking and stuff, and he's like, he talks about, he's like, there are a lot of perceived benefits. Helps you with weight loss, helps you concentrate, relieves anxiety, and he basically debunks all of those myths. And then I think the most important thing for me is he showed that nicotine does nothing for me at all. In fact, it's purely negative. And which, I would sort of be like, in my mind, I'd be like, oh, but it it's like a treat for myself. It's like I love the buzz. I love the high. And then when you sort of reframe your thinking around it, you're sort of like, he's like, you don't, you're just feeding the beast that you created with your addiction. Of like you're addicted to nicotine. So you think in your mind that taking another hit of like a vape or something is going to give you this relief and this good feeling. But really what you're doing is you're just delaying the withdrawal symptoms from the nicotine. And so once he reframed that, now when and he encourages you to keep smoking until the end of the book. So now, in those times when I've hit the vape since, it's like, now I'm able to be like, oh, yeah, this just makes me feel sick and anxious. And that was huge because now I'm like, oh, I don't really want it anymore. I still have those cravings that are, you just got to get a few days in to get past those. But he's like changed my whole relationship with it. So I think it's guys, if you're looking for a way to quit that stuff, Alan Carr, The Easy Way to Quit Smoking, check it out. And I heard about it from Nikki Glazer on Joe Rogan.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I've heard about it from Paul Tompkins.
Oh, really?
He worked for him,
Yeah.
Was she vaping?
Or
cigarettes?
she did it for drinking. He does it for drinking.
Oh, okay.
And I think she used it to quit smoking too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, can it apply to other things, you think? Or
Yeah, he has books for like everything. I think he has books for drinking, maybe overeating, I think. All that shit.
I'll look into it.
Yeah. Alan Carr, CarrAlan.
Your voice cracked. That's how I know you care.
Yeah, dude.
That's always the
voice cracked.
sign.
Yeah.
When the voice cracks, I know it's legit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough though. It's a beast though, because I'll get like 12 hours no vape, and then in my mind I'm like, that sounds really nice. And then you go and you spend like $10 to buy one, and I take a hit and I throw it away. I'm like, this is so ridiculous.
I've seen you do that. I've seen you almost like rip it open, hit it, and then throw it away.
It's so ridiculous. Fucking. Oh, and another thing too is like the withdrawal is like that. That's a whole thing with like the tobacco industry, I think, helps promote, is like the withdrawal is so brutal. It's like the worst, and that's what scared me off from it, because I'm like, oh,
it's been scaring me. It's made me reluctant to give it up, because I'm like, I don't want to be. I can't suffer right now. I need to get this done or that done.
Exactly. And then this is like, the withdrawal from nicotine is basically nothing. And then once you have that in your mind, or you're like, oh, it's not. It's all psychological. It's not that bad. Now I don't really have any withdrawal symptoms, which is like crazy. And you're like, oh, it's all just in my mind. It's cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's badass. Aaron, who's your legend of the week?
My legend of the week, I've mentioned it several times probably on this podcast, is the movie Aliens.
Nice.
Wife took the baby out of town for a little weekend. That's probably when they picked up this cold we all have. Never mind. But that's when I sat down and rewatched it in my little movie theater at home. Fucking, it's just a perfect movie.
Mm-hmm.
Minus there's a little brown face in it. But other than that,
well, yeah.
the one girl's like a Jewish lady actress playing a Mexican woman.
Oh, really?
A tough, badass Mexican woman named Vasquez. Yeah. Other than that, when you get past that, it's a perfect movie. And I watched the 1990s special edition. I always do, because it's got a little more footage that just kind of amps up the tension a little more. But I mean, that last 22 minutes or something is all real time, and this planet's about to explode, and she's got to save this little girl and defeat the queen alien. I mean, fucking
Sigourney, what's her name?
Ripley.
I was gonna say Riley.
It's super cool.
It's a good movie.
I gotta watch that again.
It's great.
James
Cameron knows what he's doing.
Well, my legend of the week is also a movie that is really good, but might have a tinge of brown face. It's Birth of a Nation. No, I'm kidding. No, I'll keep it cinematic too. My legend of the week is Martin Campbell. He's a director. He's done some pretty forgettable action movies, but he's done 3 great ones: GoldenEye, Mask of Zorro, and Casino Royale.
Dude, beast.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then Casino Royale, Strider had a good critique where he's like, is there a bit too much poker in that movie? I think he's right. There is a little, it's a little slow with the poker.
Probably is in the book though too.
Right.
But the final hand ends completely, like no hand will ever end that way.
Yeah, right. Where one guy's got a flush, the other guy's got a royal flush. Yeah.
4 aces. Yeah.
It's a little, what is sensational that way. But dude, I think what he's the best at is in all 3 of those movies, and I think these are 3 best movies at it, he's the best at shooting one guy versus like 50 people action scenes. Where it's like one guy and he's got to take on like a ton of different people and he's just mowing through minions.
Yeah.
He's the best at that.
Yeah.
He tracks the action so well. He does it in a way where it like kind of makes sense. And I don't know. I think that's like such a staple of action movies, and I think he's the best at doing that. So I want to give him some love.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
He also did Edge of Darkness, which is good.
That Mel Gibson movie, that's good?
Yeah.
Okay, I got to watch that.
He did Green Lantern though.
That one of the worst movies of all time. Dude,
terrible.
Peter Sarsgaard's head when he's turning into the bad guy and his brain's getting all jumbled and huge. You're watching, you're like, they didn't put this out, did they? You're like, no, they wouldn't do that. No, they'd rather kill themselves than put this out. No one would want to be this embarrassed.
Yeah.
Has anyone seen Sarsgaard? Is he still in hiding? I don't know if that guy's done a movie since then. He has, but yeah. I'm just saying he's humiliated. Chad, what's your quote of the week?
My quote of the week is related to my beef, the sewage spill, the Duke. It comes from Billy Madison. You guys all know it. You love it. So Billy and his squad are playing probably one of the best pranks of all time. They're lighting a a bag of dog shit on fire on this guy's porch.
Bag of Duke.
Old Man Withers. I think it's Old Man Withers.
Uh-huh.
They knock on the door. He comes out in a wife beater, boxers, and boots. What is it? What do you want? Oh, it's one of those flaming bags again. Don't put it out with your boots, Ted. Don't tell me my business, devil woman. Call the fire department. This one's out of control. He stomps it out. Smells it. It's poop again. That's my quote.
You got to do the next line too, where they're like, "He called the shit poop."
He called the shit poop. I'm gonna get you kids.
They're dying.
You're all gonna die.
So funny. Aaron, what's your quote of the week?
My quote of the week is Ripley from the movie. She's just dealing with incredible adversity and no one's listening to her. She's like the lone survivor of a tragedy, and no one will take her advice on anything. And she just says, "Did IQs drop sharply while I was away?" Actually, no. She says it in the boardroom with the corporation that hired her and that owns the planet where the alien ship is on and stuff. And she's like, well, "Isn't just no one listening to me? Like, there's an alien with acid for blood."
That's what makes him tough. It's hard to cut that dude because he bleed on you and you're a dead man.
Yeah.
My quote of the week is from The Replacements. So there's the main guy, Paul Westerberg, the lead singer and songwriter, such good lyrics. And so a lot of dudes ask us for advice on how to talk to gals, right? And there's like really no good answer, right? Mm-hmm. So he kind of addresses that in this song. This song's called If Only You Were Lonely. It's just about a drunk dude at a bar, and he goes, "Well, I ain't very good, but I get practice by myself. Forgot my one line, so I just said what I felt. If only you were lonely. If only you were lonely too. If only you was lonely, I'll go home with you." Yeah.
That's awesome.
Chad,
I want to break into, for that guy who's like nervous about what to say and he doesn't think he ever says the right thing. As a sound guy, I hear a lot of things that most people don't think I'm listening on. Just it happens. And I've seen a professional comedian who's been in business for 40 years rehearsing the question he's going to ask another comic once he gets out of the bathroom. Like I've heard him, he was in front of a microphone rehearsing what he was going to ask this guy when he came back.
how did the question go? Did he deliver it
Totally
well?
fine, yeah.
Did you think it was overkill? Like he didn't need to do that?
Of course not.
Oh, okay.
But we're all anxious. We're all in our own heads.
Right.
Everybody in the world.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I can't believe Tom Papa did that. Oh, I actually got it right? Oh, wow.
He's the other guy.
He was the guy in the bathroom?
Yeah, he was the guy coming back.
Wow.
Aaron made a face.
Well, I mean, you're kind of there in the ballpark.
Chad, what's your phrase of the week for getting after it?
My phrase of the week for getting after it is "'Tis but a scratch, my dogs. Let's fucking rage." Nice. That's shout out to what's his name? Tobey, Romeo and Juliet character.
Tybalt?
Played by one of my least favorite actors.
You don't like him in that?
Leguizamo?
Jean-Luc Leguizamo?
I don't like him in anything.
You don't like his one-man shows?
No. Actually, I thought he was funny as like a stand-up kind of.
He's got charisma.
Yeah.
He was good in Romeo and Juliet.
If you like that sort of thing.
I like him.
He's the worst thing in the Waco miniseries.
Oh,
And
really?
he's the only one who got an Emmy nomination, which is ridiculous. You got Michael Shannon there. Come on.
A good actor.
Yeah.
What's your phrase of the week?
Phrase of the week for getting after it. Drop the vape, grab your ankles. I don't know what that means.
Grab your ankles?
Yeah. That's a tall threat.
Are you saying do yoga instead?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so my phrase of the week for getting after it is part of a quote that Jerry Stackhouse gave about Kobe, who's one of my favorite players of all time. I love Kobe. But there was a story that when Kobe was in high school, he practiced with the Philadelphia 76ers and he lit up Jerry Stackhouse, who was already in the NBA. And I guess he did play well, but like it was kind of myth building. He didn't really light him up.
Yeah.
So the writer of the book reached out to Stackhouse and he goes, "I reached out to Stackhouse, a nice man I once profiled for the Wall Street Journal." And Stackhouse is a badass. Like he's a no shit kind of dude. He DM'd me back. "What up, brother? Hope all is well. Probably not the one to talk much about Kobe, to expand on all the myth of him beating me as a high schooler. But to his credit, I've never heard him say it, but he hasn't denied it either. So basically, fuck them. So yeah, my phrase will be freaking after is fuck them.
Nice. I think that's it. That was fun.
That was really fun. Yeah, good stuff, dudes. Yeah, Chattel Seed at 8:30. We're performing for high school kids.
Yeah,
at the Hollywood Improv.
The Hollywood Improv.
They've been doing a lot of these shows where they like bus in a bunch of teenagers or something.
I guess
It's the summer, yeah.
I heard they're rough,
really?
dude. I heard they're tough shows.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how it'll go down.
They better not be mean.
Yeah, dude.
Yo, don't be mean to me, kids.
I'm gonna come at them hard with the Gen Z stuff.
On the tight jeans, bro?
Yeah, oh yeah.
You're going straight for the jugular like that?
I'm gonna destroy them.
You're crazy, bro.
The whole set. What are you guys thinking?
You can be that inflamed. I love it because I'll be wearing tight jeans too. Yeah. But that's going to get them on their. That's going to get them aggressive.
I'll fight some teens.
I would love that. Yeah, let's go throw down.
Guys, keep writing reviews. Love the reviews coming in. They help us out a ton, and you guys are beasts. Thank you so much. And drink Fruit Smash. Check out our other dogs, Joe Code, that's Joe Maurice's podcast, and History is Dank, that's Strider's podcast. And anything else to promote? Check out Helix Beer Bongs, the best in the biz. Amazing funnel technology.
And if you can play baseball, go to UCI. If you're a high schooler and you can play baseball, go to UCI and play for Danny Babona, best pitching coach in the country. They should call it UC Newport Beach because it's right there.
Yeah. And finally, if you're going to do anal, use Douglas lubricant.
I love it.
Drop the vape. Use Douglas.
Yeah, it's a little softer. All right, sweet.
If you need advice, these guys are